Chapter 21 Benjamin Morgan. They just wanted to see how powerful Zhang Yi could be after obtaining Ling's human body. Colombia. In Professor Leonardo da Vinci's laboratory, he was rummaging through boxes and cabinets, organizing his scientific instruments. Behind him was a large backpack filled with things. I haven't been abroad for a long time. This time I have the opportunity to go to the underground world and see the ancient civilization. Perhaps it will be of great help to my scientific research. He knelt on the ground and dug out a blue toy gun from the garbage heap, and his eyes suddenly lit up. Found it. Keep this for self-defense. As he said this, he stuffed the toy gun into his trouser pocket. Brian looked at him speechlessly from behind. We're still unsure of what Chaos is going to do. What if, and I mean what if he just endures it? This battle might not even start. Brian hates fighting very much. He is just a dog. He has everything he needs now. He has food and drink by his master's side. Why should he fight? Professor Da Vinci glared at him. Damn it, Brian. I should have put more effort into opening your IQ. If it doesn't work, I could have bought you a new brain. You are so stupid. This makes me very disappointed. Brian looked at him speechlessly. Professor Da Vinci chattered on. I've studied that guy named Zhang Yi. He's not one to hold back. The reason he's been quiet is because he's holding back a big one. When he is able to fight back, he will definitely kill his opponent in one go. And after Pluto came back, I received news that he performed very terrifyingly in the Devil's Eye and got a powerful big toy in his hand. So this battle will happen. Professor Da Vinci packed a full military backpack, which was almost as tall as he was. He zipped up his backpack and said to Brian, Brian, take good care of our things. We're about to head to the mysterious underground world. There was an expression of anticipation on his face, but who knew that staying in the laboratory doing experiments every day had already made him almost bored. After saying that, he walked straight out the door. Professor, where are you going? Go find Morgan. I want to take a long vacation, including my annual leave. Oh, damn. It's been a while since I last went on vacation. But it's freezing here, and I can't even go to the beach to sunbathe. Professor Da Vinci left his laboratory and walked outside, where there was a long corridor. At this moment, he was in a huge underground base in Franklinville, the capital of Colombia. This is the organizational center of the Natural Science Association. Today, more than half of the powerful aliens in the entire Colombia belong to this organization. They have close ties with the Colombian top leaders, and many members also work in the military. For example, both Cartiers and Canero have undergone experimental transformation by the Natural Science Association. Professor Da Vinci came to the elevator and went down. Soon he arrived at the office of the president of the Natural Science Association. She said to the secretary sitting outside the door, Jessica, please tell Morgan I need to see him for something. Jessica picked up the phone. Okay, please wait. When she picked up the phone, Professor Da Vinci walked straight to the door and pushed it open. Hey, Professor Da Vinci, well, he's always like this. Ms. Jessica looked helpless. Professor Da Vinci was a weirdo in the base, and few people wanted to deal with him. However, the development of the organization cannot be separated from this genius of science. Da Vinci walked into the president's office and saw a tall figure sitting behind the desk with his back to him.
Hey, Morgan.
I need some time off. My annual leave and sick leave this year, plus, well, I'm going to take a long break anyway. The swivel chair behind the desk turned around, and suddenly a golden light flashed, causing Da Vinci to subconsciously cover his eyes. It was simply because that man's body was shining like a 100-watt light bulb. This is a very tall man with neatly combed hair, about 40 years old. He had a thick gold chain around his neck, dozens of gold and gem rings on his fingers, and even his belt buckle was made of pure gold. Professor Da Vinci looked at the person in front of him, his face full of speechlessness. President of the Natural Science Association, Benjamin Morgan, codenamed Adam. However, this is not the first man Adam in the myth, but the famous economist Adam Smith. It was Morgan who founded the Society for Natural Sciences, and before the end of the world, he was one of the richest men in the world. With his rich management skills, huge wealth, and his connections in all walks of life, he was able to control such a powerful and magical organization as the Natural Science Association. Until now, natural science associations have been considered semi-independent institutions. Like Leonardo da Vinci, he just has a cooperative relationship with the Colombian government. Including this time when he wanted to join Zhang Yi in attacking the Wolwan Empire, it was only for his personal purpose. Morgan looked at da Vinci, who came to ask for leave, and raised his eyebrows. Professor da Vinci, you rarely ask for leave. I thought you had already regarded the association as your home. Even if it's your own home, you'll get bored if you stay there for too long. Anyway, I just came to inform you that I won't be in the association for a while. Please leave a message if you have anything to say. After saying this, da Vinci wanted to leave. Hey, how long are you going to be gone? Who knows? I'll be back when it's time. Professor. Morgan suddenly raised his voice, and Professor da Vinci stopped and turned to look at him. What's wrong? Anything else? Morgan raised his eyebrows, stared at da Vinci's dead eyes for a moment, and suddenly smiled. Nothing. Just be careful when you go out. Don't worry, I'll take Brian with me. After saying this, Leonardo da Vinci walked away. Morgan stroked his square chin with a hand covered in expensive rings and muttered to himself, "It must be very interesting to get this guy out of the lab. Could it be related to the chaos in Huashu country? In that case, let him go over and take a look. Maybe there will be some surprises." He had received intelligence from Pluto about everything that happened under the Devil's Eye long ago. Chapter 21-22 An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. In the following period, Blizzard City was in turmoil, and Zhang Yi occupied a large area in the southeast of Blizzard City. In this area, no outsiders are allowed to enter. Not even the Yanyan guards from Blizzard City can get close. Because here, Lu Qian is leading a group of mechanical life form workers to renovate the Tsang Yuan clan's super battleship that has not been on the battlefield for many years. Zhang Yi also locked himself up at home. To be precise, he spent most of his time in the back garden or his room. The absorption and transformation of spiritual essence is a long process. The speed depends on a person's talent. Not everyone can quickly transform spiritual essence into their own strength after obtaining it, because this power comes from other living things. If one's own talent is limited, these energies will not be absorbed, but will make one feel bloated, just like a person who has eaten too much. After being baptized by the ocean of spiritual essence, Zhang Yi's talent has reached a very terrifying level. Otherwise, it would not have been possible to climb the ability index from 32,000 points to 38,000 points in less than 2 months. Without intention, great things can be achieved. Without intention, great success can be achieved. More haste, less speed. Excessive desire will affect the efficiency of absorbing spiritual essence. This is what Zhang Yi understood from Xinxue. He must do everything possible to improve his strength before the war comes. But at this moment, Deng Shintong suddenly sent a message. Lao Zhang, there's another incident along the coast. Zhang Yi came back to his senses from meditation and just frowned slightly when he heard the news. Again? After he walked out of Tianhai Fortress and came to the outside world, he saw that the clouds in the sky were drifting rapidly towards the northwest. There was also a faint whistling sound in my ears, as if coming from far away. The scale of this tsunami is even larger than before. Zhang Yi expected such a result, but he was not anxious. Instead, he laughed. This is all you have left. You don't dare to actually set foot on this land. In the East China Sea region, the news was quickly shared in the high-level chat group. Zhang Yi saw a 3-dimensional map. According to the map, the direction of the tsunami attack was still the southeastern waters, with the Jiangnan region and the East China Sea region being the worst hit. The tsunami washed over the coast, accompanied by a huge typhoon. Nearly half of the entire Jiangnan region was affected. Fortunately, Blizzard City was only disturbed by the storm and did not suffer much damage. At most, some houses were destroyed. Li Guangxiao's tone was grim. The East China Sea region is completely finished this time. This tsunami has a much wider impact. After these two tsunamis, at least hundreds of thousands of people have died in shipwrecks. Millions have been affected. The population of the Donghai region is mainly concentrated near Donghai City. After all, it feels safer to live around the main city. But it was because of this that a large number of people died in shipwrecks. Chaos. When can we launch a counterattack? We can't keep swallowing our anger. Otherwise, the East China Sea region will be completely finished. Li Guangxiao's face showed a hint of worry. Their losses were too great. Only through a major war and plundering the resources of the Wulwan Empire can the losses during this period be made up. Meng Yuanjun said, "It's not just you. The coastal areas of Shengjing district have also been severely affected. However, everything depends on the preparations of the chaos side. We can't act hastily." The other regions did not make any statement because they were not directly affected, and it still depended on Zhang Yi's attitude. Zhang Yi put his fingernail into his mouth and chewed it, then suddenly laughed. "Yes, it's time to act." Everyone looked at Zhang Yi. Shang Dawen asked hurriedly, "Are you ready? Didn't I say that there are still many things that need to be done slowly? For example, the joint combat training between aliens has not even started yet." Zhang Yi waved his hand. "You got me wrong. I told you to be patient. We need to make the other side think we're afraid of them and won't dare to start a full-scale war. But don't you think that if we remain silent too much, it will only arouse suspicion from the other side? After all, during the previous battle in Tianhai City, we gathered our forces and put up a very tenacious resistance." Shang Dawen frowned in confusion. "So what you mean is, we must fight back. But we must also make them think we're nearing the limit of our patience and let them believe their plan has succeeded." Zhang Yi said with a smile. He just happened to have some good things prepared for the Wulwan Empire in his hands, but he hadn't used them yet. "So, how are you going to do that?" Xiao Lai asked curiously. "Do we need to send troops to help us now?" Zhang Yi shook his head. "That's not necessary. Let them think that this was just a reckless act on impulse. You can just sit back and watch the show unfold." After the conference call ended, Zhang Yi immediately called together the people around him. "Karen, you don't need to participate in this operation. Just do your job first. Everyone else, follow me. It's time we teach those damn lizard men a lesson." Zhang Yi brought his friends along, just out of habit, to let them go over and watch a good show. At the same time, he shared his perspective with senior executives from various regions throughout the process. He had to give everyone a shot of adrenaline to let them know whether what he said was true. In the 6 major districts, all the senior executives were watching Zhang Yi's first-person perspective with curiosity, wondering what tricks this lawless guy would come up with next. Zhang Yi went out only after confirming that his equipment was correct and his combat status was adjusted to the best. The ability of space travel was activated, heading all the way to the southeast. As he flew across the sky, he saw the land ravaged by the storm and the vast areas that had become chaotic and muddy after being flooded by the tsunami. This is an unimaginable disaster, a man-made disaster that has never happened in human history. Zhang Yi did not get the exact information on how many people died, but even a Delta-level mutant would find it difficult to survive such a disaster without a flying device or the ability to fly. According to the most conservative estimates in the 2 regions, hundreds of thousands of people were killed in the 2 tsunamis. Zhang Yi would not blame himself for the disaster, but seeing the beautiful mountains and rivers turned into such a tragic state, his heart was still burning with anger. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Everyone in the Wulwan Empire, remember everything you did to my Huashu nation today. One day, I will completely wipe out your entire clan, from top to bottom. Zhang Yi traveled across the vast land and entered the sea. When he passed by Donghai City, the voices of Xuanwu and others came. "Chaos, we're going with you. With me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all."